Yeah, what a night. There was a lot of highs and a few lows, but overall the team rallied. They fought for every single tenth. They showed resilience. They showed fight. And I think what I'm most excited about is that 25% of those routines were brand new tonight. And so 6 of the 24 were either first time career starts or first time this season. And so I think that says a lot about the depth of this team, that we can have really anybody in the mix and we're still going to be able to find a way to keep making progress and keep making improvements. And so that's really my takeaway tonight and what I'm most excited about.
What's it say about Lily having a fall on beam and then she comes back and has such a big score, which actually ties the meet up? What's it just say about her character?
You know, Lily is such a gamer, and that was heartbreaking for her to have that fall on beam. It's very uncharacteristic of her. I think she's somebody that is capable of scoring a 10, a 995, week in and week out. And I think because of that, at times, you know, she maybe put a little bit too much pressure on that outcome. And sometimes mistakes happen when you're learning to find your edge. Sometimes you go a little over and sometimes you go a little under. And so I'm confident Lily's going to figure that out. And so it says a lot about her, the way that she was able to brush that off and know that that doesn't define her. She knows who she is as a beam worker, and that one mistake isn't going to dictate how she moves forward. And she's able to put that aside, put the team first, and focus on the next moment ahead. And she did a really great job of that, showed a lot of mental resilience and mental toughness to be able to go over to floor and stay in the moment and enjoy it. I think that's what I saw from her. She was really enjoying herself and staying present, and that's what led to a win for her. You know, she really won that moment.
What was the level of poise for those new routines, like you mentioned, that you were happy with? But in the moment when those athletes were approaching that challenge, what did you see?
They really performed like veterans out there, and I was really impressed with the way Chloe stepped in and did floor. Jameson stepped in and did floor. It's really hard as a newcomer to come in and not have that sort of mulligan, that ability to, you know, get the kinks out, try it for the first time, and then solidify it in the coming weeks. They didn't really have that luxury. They had to come right into the mix and perform big. And not only that, but coming down to the last rotation where it was really close with Arkansas. There wasn't a lot of margin for error there. And so I think it says a lot about who they are, what they bring to this team, how talented they are, how much they've bought into the team first mentality, knowing that at any time, any place, everybody has to be ready to go. And they did a great job of that. The other person I want to highlight is Shania Adams on vault. There was actually a little fluke in warm-up where Jameson was actually supposed to be the anchor on vault, and during that 4-minute touch, Shania hardly got to warm up, and we ended up putting her in the lineup as in the anchor spot instead, and she did such a phenomenal job and showed just a tremendous amount of poise in that moment, not really getting a warm-up and still stepping up and hitting such a great vault. So that was a good moment for our team.
We know like Lily fell on beam, but Louisa had to attempt her vault a second time. And what was that like, knowing that she's able to do that? Like she has that mental toughness to be able to do that, and knowing that her team was even there to help her. And Coleman was awesome with the encouragement as well.
Yeah. You know, sometimes you just kind of have those little fluke moments, and I think she maybe started on the wrong foot, and so it was a little bit off. So she made a really smart decision by not trying to adjust too severely to try to make the vault happen. She knew it was going to be much better to stop before the board. As long as she doesn't touch the board, then she has the opportunity to redo the vault. And so she made a really smart decision in that moment, staying composed, staying really grounded, and she didn't try too hard. She just walked back, centered herself. You know, the team didn't make a big deal out of it. Everybody knew she could do it, and so I think she made a great decision in that moment.
Hi there. You touched on some of the lineup changes for this week. Could you just kind of elaborate more on those, particularly on the vault and the floor?
Mm-hmm. So two of our staples over the last 2 weeks, Luisa Blanco and Gabby Gladio, and Shania Adams in floor. Just had a couple little setbacks this week, nothing major, but we talk all the time about depth, and when somebody is not quite clicking or in the best position to compete, then we want to be able to put somebody else in. And so those are the decisions we made this week, and I think it's important that we test those things out so that when we get to the end of the season, we truly have confidence in every single athlete that's performing. And I expect those athletes to be ready to go again next week, but it was important to prioritize their well-being, their recovery, their just workload management as we progress throughout the season.
Speaking of that, I noticed that Jordan Paradise hasn't competed at all, but she was a staple in the vault lineup last year. Is she okay, and do you expect to see her this season?
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't expect to see Jordan compete for the rest of the season. She is a great teammate and has been right there by everybody's side, cheering along the way. And she'll continue to work hard. And I can't say that with certainty just right now. It's kind of on her timeline, and whenever it makes sense to progress, we will.
Was it an injury?
Yeah.
Coach, tie or not, another high score for your team tonight. What's it say about them to just continue to step out each week and get better and raise that bar? No pun intended.
This week was really important for us because we had so many changes to our lineups. I think this was an easy week to get distracted. We were ranked number 3. There was a lot of things that were going well, and I think that's the time where you start looking at all that external pressure and expectation. And so we talked a lot about this week. Stay in the process, stay committed to it. Don't get distracted by all those other things. And so I think the team did a really good job of that, of really staying in the moment, doing the little things that they can control to lead to the best outcome. And so I'm proud of them for getting through this week. It was a tough week with all the changes. We talk all the time about adaptability, and they really had to put that into play this week.
Sorry. What's it say about Sears and what did you like about Sears and LaCourcier on the floor routine, and what's it say? What did you like about them?
You know, Jamison and Chloe have prepared really well on floor. Chloe's been preparing since August. Jamison hasn't had quite as much time to prepare with a few setbacks in the fall, but over the last couple of weeks has really kicked it into another gear. And, as they were getting ready to compete on floor, I didn't really know what they were going to do. I knew they were prepared, but you never really know until they step out there, salute, and compete. And so I'm so excited about how they were able to handle the pressure, just everything that was on the line in that moment. They really competed like veterans. And so to have that experience tonight, that's going to really help our team. It's going to help our depth. It's going to help us continue to build, push people, who are in the lineup. Like we constantly need to improve and make steps forward. And so having some of those young ones step up there and deliver big performances is only going to help our 5th-year seniors and everybody else who is just trying to keep getting better. I just appreciate the energy in Coleman tonight. It was really rocking around, and the students were amazing, and we love competing in front of our home crowd, and just want to thank everybody for coming out, and hope to see you again in 2 weeks against Kentucky.